not only has width and length, but height or depth as well. So everything that you build in Chief Architect is based on CAD. CAD, or Computer-Aided Design, was originally drawing points, lines, polylines, arcs, circles, and splines in a two-dimensional environment. In Chief Architect, as you are drawing in a 2D view with the Build tools, Chief is actually building a 3D model that not only has width and length, but height or depth as well. So in this video, we will show you some basic skills in creating and editing CAD objects. These skills will apply to everything you do in your design process in Chief Architect. All of your CAD tools, parent tools, can be found here under the CAD drop-down menu. You have the points, lines, arcs, circles, and boxes parent tools, as well as the spline tool. But you'll find the corresponding tools in your toolbar here in the default toolbar configuration. To place a point, I'll click on the drop-down for the Point Tools parent tool and click on Place Point. To place a point, I'll simply click in my plan. A point is not something that you can select to delete. If I click to place several points, I can delete these points by clicking on the drop-down for my point tool and clicking on Delete Temporary Points. The other option is if I've placed multiple points in my plan, I'll go back to Select mode by clicking on Select Objects, and then with nothing selected, hit the Delete key on my keyboard. As I hit the Delete key, the points will be removed in the opposite sequence that they were created. Now we'll go to the Line Tool parent tool and select Draw Line. To draw a line, you simply left-click where you want the line to start and drag in the direction that you want to draw your line. Once you've drawn your line, you can go back to Select mode by hitting your spacebar. Spacebar will release the active tool. Now I'll select the line by clicking on it. When I select the line, you'll notice that the object has edit handles. Every object in Chief Architect has edit handles. The one in the middle is the Move edit handle. The ones on each end are the End edit handles, where you can extend the line or shorten it. You also have the Diamond edit handle beyond the end. The Diamond edit handle is the Draw the Same Line type edit handle. If I click and drag this edit handle in a different direction, it'll draw another line connected to the endpoint of the first line. You also have your Rotate edit handle, the triangle beyond the object. If you click and drag this in a clockwise or counterclockwise direction, you can rotate this object. Once you have two lines connected at their endpoints, this is a polyline. A polyline is two or more lines connected at their endpoints. And you'll notice that when I select this object, it will select both lines at the same time and treat them as one object. I'll go ahead and delete this polyline by selecting it and hitting the Delete key on my keyboard. Then we'll select our Line tool again and click and drag one line, snap to the endpoint as indicated by the red snap indicator, click and drag another line straight down, create another line from that endpoint, and then draw another one up to this corner. When the lines completely surround an area, they are a closed polyline. Once you have a closed polyline, you'll notice that when I select it, the object turns gray or highlights. The other thing you'll notice when you have a polyline is if you select one of the lines of the polyline, you'll get temporary dimensions. You can use these temporary dimensions to move each individual line. I've selected this line, and you'll notice that the edit handle on that line is larger than the edit handles on each of the other three lines. That means that that line is active. With that line active, I'll click right on the number for this temporary dimension and type in a specific number and move this line exactly where I need it. Now you'll notice that this line is active. With that line active, I can select this dimension, type in a specific number. When I hit my Enter key, the active line will move. So you have the Move edit handle on each line, which will move it in the direction that the arrow is pointing. If I move this edit handle up or down, the line will move up or down, but if I try to move it to the left or the right, the line will not move. You can reshape this polyline by using the Diamond edit handles on each corner. Again, you have your Rotate edit handle and the Move edit handle that will move all of these lines as one object. You'll notice as I'm moving it that it'll either move to the right or left or up or down. It will not move it in a diagonal direction. That's following angle snaps that are set up in your defaults. You can temporarily disable the snaps by holding down your Control key as you move it. Then it'll move freely. In addition to the line tools, you also have arc tools. I'll click on the Draw Arc tool and then click and drag a line. You'll notice that the arc will reshape and resize as I move my cursor until I release. You also have your Circle CAD Tools parent tool. There's two ways to draw a circle. You can either draw a circle by clicking and dragging a line to form the 2 points of the diameter of the circle, or you can use the Circle About Center. We'll place first a point, and then use the Circle About Center, start right on that point, and then click and drag away from the point. You also have the Rectangle Polyline parent tool. Here you can draw a rectangle polyline by clicking and dragging to form the opposite corners of a rectangular polyline. I'll go ahead and delete some of these objects, and then I'll draw 2 more rectangle polylines. Now we'll take a look at editing CAD objects. When you click on an object or select it, the Edit toolbar shows up at the bottom. This toolbar is specific to the object type you have selected and holds all of the tools that you can edit that object with. You can remove any individual line from a polyline by selecting and activating that line and then clicking on Disconnect Selected Edge. Now it will treat that line as one individual line. If I hit my Delete key, it'll only delete that line. If you have a polyline but it's not closed, you have an option here to close the polyline. That will simply add one more line segment connecting the last 2 end points. Another edit tool you have in your toolbar is your Break Line tool. This allows you to break any line and create 2 separate line segments. I'll go ahead and click on the Break Line tool and then click along any one of the line edges. Wherever I click, it'll create a diamond edit handle. This is now a break point. If I click and drag that diamond away from the polygon, it'll reshape the polygon and that will become a corner. If I drag that back so that the point is in line with these 2 lines, and then select one of these line segment edges and drag it away, it'll create 2 corners where that breakpoint was. Again, you can use the diamond-shaped edit handles to reshape your polyline. Another option you have is to activate one of the lines of your polyline and use your Change Line to Arc tool. You'll notice that the active edge is very important. That's the edge that became an arc. And the arc has additional edit handles. You have the arc's Move edit handle. If I select this edit handle, it will move the arc and it will change the chord. The chord of an arc is an imaginary line between the 2 endpoints of the arc. If I click and drag the triangle, it'll leave the endpoints exactly where they are and simply change the radius of the arc or the direction of the arc. I'll go ahead and delete this polyline and use this polyline. Select this edge and use my Change Line to Arc tool. We can change the radius of this arc to be tangent to its connecting lines by using this tool, Make Arc Tangent. Chief will automatically calculate the radius needed to create that perfectly rounded end. If I select this Move edit handle between the 2 endpoints and drag it out, it'll simply move the entire arc and extend the lines it's connected to. Now I'll select this polyline and we'll take a look at a couple of other edit tools in your toolbar. One of the tools is your Fillet tool. Again, the active edge is important. If I activate this edge, click on my Fillet tool, then I get sub-tools that will show up. If I click on the Set Fillet Radius tool, here I can change the radius to the size I need. I'll click on a line connected to the one that I originally selected. That will round off the corner to an exact 6-inch dimension. If I click on that line, click on the Fillet tool, and then click on the Fillet All Corners tool, it will fillet all of the corners of that polyline. You also have your Chamfer tool. If I select this polyline and then click on the Chamfer tool, this tool behaves very much like the Fillet tool. If I click on the Set Chamfer Distance tool, I can change the chamfer distance and then click OK and then click on one of the connected lines. That will bevel or chamfer the corner to that exact distance. Again, I can use that chamfer tool and I can chamfer or bevel all the corners of this object. Many of the same tools used for editing polylines will be used in Chief Architect for editing any polyline